Andre, can you give us a bit of background on Investment Managers Group?
Investment Managers Group was started in 2015. We started it as a multi-affiliate model where we invest into boutique asset managers. The dream that we have is to create the next generation of boutique asset managers. And through various skill sets that we have and involvement in the businesses, we try and help them grow and assist them and support them in their growth journey.
Looking at bringing in outsourced financial expertise, at what point did ING decide to do that, and what made Outsourced CFO the right partner for this journey?
Look, I suppose it's a decision that any business should go through or will go through its life stages and journeys. But I suppose we decided to outsource when we got to a point that we had to make a decision as a HoldCo to remain a small niche business, and hence number of staff remain a small number of staff, and rather have skill sets in the business that add value internally and to our investee businesses, and therefore outsource. And I wouldn't call it non-core, but if I can ring fence it as a little bit of a non-core out to service providers. And then we decided to rather follow a componentized operating model where we would rather bring services in and then partner, not necessarily just allocate services out and have the service provider relationship, but a partnership relationship with vendors. And when we selected OCFO, I suppose it was more decision to partner with someone that's entrepreneurial, that has the right culture fit with us, and that could have a bit of a flexible working environment and create that with us, because we're quite flexible and we have to flex over time, and that relationship was important to us, and hence we selected OCFO.
Now, speaking of flexibility, how did our team assist with adapting to changing financial reporting requirements or internal system changes, at ING?
Look, I was at a dinner once, and one of the, and I won't mention the name, but one of the CEOs of one of the largest short-term insurers in South Africa, he was a founding partner of it, mentioned that when they started their business, they wanted to remain entrepreneurial, but always run the business almost as a listed entity. And that doesn't mean that you go, and you have to be able to ready list tomorrow, but remain professional and have the basic back end of it in order to not let the governance and the financial side lag the growth of the business, but rather either front run it or almost at the same time be scale ready. And through that whole process, I suppose I like that comment, and through the componentized operating model, as I mentioned, we looked at OCFO, and then they were quite good at flexing when we need them. And as we grew, we went to cloud accounting, which we didn't have before, and they could offer that. And then the team itself fit in quite well with us. So with that changing environment and the legislative changes and our environment maturing over time, when we founded the business in 2015, as it matured, I suppose you have complexities that come into the business, both from us investing into more investee businesses, as well as our landscape changing and reporting to shareholders, etc. And with that is when we rather went and said, let's rather partner with an OCFO type service provider, and we selected. And through that whole reporting structure and the complexities as it came through, I suppose the cloud became very easy. The way that we work with them, the way that they could flex, all of that just worked well together.
Looking over the past year, what has been the most valuable part of working with Outsourced CFO?
Look, I think I touched on the flexibility, but I think to elaborate slightly on that, I think not all outsourced service providers can flex like OCFO does. And the fact that I think the team has truly become an extension of our team. And that's important. I mean, I mentioned the partnership a bit earlier, but the partnership is important in the way that they can feel and almost sense when you're under pressure and when you're not, and collaborate in those environments rather than just say, this is the SLA and this is what we deliver. I think that's been very valuable for us. And I think it remains, we're a business that's quite busy with corporate finance type activities. And through that, the scenario planning, I touched on it, but it is important for us. But the scenario planning that is being done and the way that they've been able to work with other service providers that sit around us in our value chain has been probably the most valuable in the last year or even plus year to 2 or 3 years. And with that integration, that I really feel that the team understands us and that they can almost add value, not just by accepting an instruction, but that they actually challenge it, or that they can add value in every discussion that we have. So it's a very different interaction that we've started to have, from do this and this versus them saying, but isn't this a better way to do it? So that is truly an extension of the team. And then the information that they're able to give on and the formats that they've built for us, the templates and the formats, as I said, that we slightly outside the norm for OCFO, that's quite valuable, and that we can almost make changes on the fly. Has been truly valuable for us in the last year as we go through changes and as we mature. And I suppose as we try and always keep our entrepreneurial spirit alive, but know that we have to have this professionalism and this governance moat around our business in order to truly create value, both for our shareholders as well as for our boutique businesses.